Welcome to day actual 10 of the 30-day video challenge. I got the number wrong yesterday. So today we are practicing in a sort of studio setup. This is the same kind of setup that I was filming for yesterday with Thrive Things and completely tanked at it. It's a lot harder than it looks, especially when you're looking at a camera that is pretty far away from you and there's big lights either side of you. I might cut in a cutaway of the lights and stuff so you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so again I'm going to do 5 minutes of non-stop talk. Oh, he's got it! Why is it on 35?
So it started when you started talking?
Start again.
Alright.
So I'm going to do 5 minutes of non-stop talking and I'm going to try and explain a concept to you. And this one's going to be quite difficult. I'm going to try and explain piano tuning to you, which requires a lot of visual aid, so we'll see how we go. And ready. Okay, so a lot of people don't actually know that you need to get your piano tuned every year. It's because there are a series of strings in the piano underneath each note. So whenever you play a note, there's 1 to 3 strings for each of those notes that you hit on the actual keyboard. They, like all instruments, go in and out of tune. There are various reasons for this. A lot of it is weather related, so during the seasons the strings contract and expand. Other factors are if you get the piano moved, if the piano hasn't been played for a long time, and how new the piano is. So if it's still settling into the wood and the various mechanical elements in the piano. So usually when it's new it needs to get tuned a lot more frequently. So how do you actually tune a piano? It takes a lot of elbow grease, to be honest. Every note is connected to a wooden mechanism that moves a hammer that smashes against the strings. And that's what creates the noise when you hit a note on a piano. It's all very quick. So you hit this note, the hammer plays the string. And in order to change the sound that string makes, you need to tighten or loosen the string. And the string is set into the piano through a metal pin, which is then stuck into the wood base of the piano. So by moving this metal pin a little bit to the left or the right, it tightens the string that is attached to it. The wooden pin has to be really, really, really tightly stuck in the wood in order for it to actually hold the string in place, because it's quite a lot of pressure from the string starting going all the way down to where it attaches to the bottom of the piano. So you have to be able to move this really, really, really tightly stuck in pin just enough so that the string is perfectly in tune, but not too much that you move it out of place. And it's quite difficult to get that balance at the very start because you're pulling with all your might, but you have to move it just the tiniest increment. And it's incredibly frustrating, especially some notes when you hit it, there are 3 strings that play at the same time. So you have to get every single one of those strings sounding exactly the same. So you have to make those tiny little movements to move one pin, the next pin and the third pin, and then make sure that they all play exactly the same note. Now, a piano has a lot of keys on it, and I think there's about 230 strings per piano, so it can take quite a while to tune an entire piano. When I first started, it used to take me 3 hours. Quickly got that down to 2.5 and then slowly got it down to 1 hour. There is the risk of breaking a string. If you pull a pin too much and the string has too much pressure, you can break a string. And that's also quite difficult because you do have to balance kind of really tight pins in pianos. You do have to really pull them and hope that you don't accidentally snap a string. 4 minutes. Still 1 minute to go. Yeah, so why do you have to get them tuned yearly? Because if you don't keep the adjustments maintained, they're very small adjustments. If you don't keep those maintained, it requires massive adjustments. Say you don't get it tuned for 10 years, that string and that pin now needs to be pulled all the way up rather than just a tiny little move. And when you pull it so far, it dislodges the pin in the piano and makes it less stable. This means that future tunes aren't taken as well by the piano, they don't last as long, and you can risk snapping a string because you have to pull the string so much in one go. So it really is better for the life of the whole piano to maintain the yearly tunes, even though it's expensive. That's my 5 minutes up. I will await feedback and get back to you tomorrow with day 11. Also found out that none of my video recordings yesterday worked because the sound was broken and corrupted. So I'll be doing that again tomorrow morning. So hopefully by tomorrow afternoon when I'm doing my next video, I'll just be 1,000 times better.